Come on in, everyone. Come on in because we are here doing an exclusive Ready to Love, Make a Move video. Normally these come out on the OWN TV's YouTube channel, but this one was on Crystal XO's channel. But we're going to talk about it. We are going to talk about it. Thank you for all of you who dropped down in my comments to let me know that it was available to talk about. And it was a good one. It is a good one. So we're going to be playing it and stopping it and talking about it. But I already gave a little bit away of what I thought of it when I listened to it the first time. I'm going to listen to it again with y'all. But the first time when I watched it, I'm going to tell y'all, I said to myself, wow, Cam is a nerd. Cam is a nerd, y'all. Y'all know I've been around a lot of nerds in my days. I'm in engineering, so I'm around a lot of nerds all the time. These socially awkward dating men, they're good men, but they're socially awkward. They don't really have a whole lot of swag. Some of them don't. Some of them do, but some of them don't have a whole lot of swag. And that's the vibe I'm picking up of Cam, y'all. I mean, I can see how a lot of people still think Cam, there's a so-called like Zadia. I've really been clear on what my opinion is of Cam. I'm still sticking to that even after I've watched this video. And that is, I do think Cam like Zadia. But Cam isn't willing to give up what he wants to do, his goals, his dreams, his businesses, whatever, for Zadia. He likes Zadia, but he's not willing to give up his life for Zadia. I still believe those are two different things. And I bet some of you have already seen this clip. And I bet some of you have come away saying, see, he don't really like her because some of the things he's saying. And I'm going to probably end up disagreeing with a few of you. And I'm going to say, I think he's a nerd. I think he's socially awkward. I don't think that he knows how to date. I don't think he's had a lot of dating experience. And I'm going to go a little bit further. I kind of touched on it earlier this season about the differences between Cam and Zadia. And I think I even had some conversations with a few of you down in the chat. And this is what I think of Cam and Zadia. And even more now that I'm really just saying it out loud, that I think Cam is a nerd, probably somewhat awkward in dating. But I think that's what adds the innocence to him. I think that honesty and innocence is what comes from not having dated a lot and not having had a lot of issues with women. And so he's really coming really real and authentic. And I think Zadia has been around the block a couple of times. And so I think she looks at things as he must be lying. But I think Cam has been honest this whole time. He's never wavered from his story. It's been very clear to me. If you listen to him, it's been very clear. I can see how if Zadia has developed feelings for him, especially if they've been intimate, I can understand how some of her judgment can be cloudy. But his words have been very, very clear, very, very clear. And I don't think that he's had a whole lot of inconsistencies. But in this clip, which we're going to start showing it, I do believe that his social awkwardness really, really, really did show up in this clip more than any other clip. I was wondering why he was running around with this sweat rag in the back of his pocket and this big old gold chain. I always felt it was a little bit too much. I was like, why does he do that? But now that I'm really honing in on that, I think he might be a nerd. It makes sense because sometimes nerds try to do things, fashion things, so they really look like they're kind of like in the know or they're a cool guy, even though they're really just a nerd. So the whole idea of hanging a towel out the back of the pocket, the idea of this big old gold chain or white gold chain, it's starting to kind of make a little bit of sense that this might be a little bit part of him not wanting to act like he's a nerd. I think he's a nerd, y'all. I think he's a nerd. And I think him paired with Zadia is a woman that in his real nerdy days, he would never, ever even get a chance with. You know, Zadia said when they were on their first date, if y'all remember, they said they went to the same college. And I don't know if this college was a HBCU. I don't think so. I think it was like probably a PWI institution, which means a lot of times you know the other blacks on campus or you've at least seen them if it's like a white institution. And I remember Zadia from the first season of Ready to Love. She was in a sorority. I think she and Camille are in a sorority. I don't know if they're in the same one or if they're in different ones, but I know that they were sorority girls. And I'm thinking to myself, might be the case of the nerdy science STEM major, the ones I went to college with, when we're on the way other side of campus, versus Zadia, who's the cool girl on campus. Remember, Zadia is a sorority girl. Zadia ran track. Zadia was probably in the in crowd. And here you have Cam, who was probably the guy on campus. Because she said, I don't even remember you. He was probably on the one on campus studying. The one that was studying to become a pharmacist, a doctor. The one that now tells us he trades a lot of Bitcoin and crypto and all these other things he's got going on. Behind the camera, taking pictures. A lot of times shy people want to be behind the camera. They don't want to necessarily be in front of the camera. They want to be behind the camera. That's another sign that, not necessarily that you're a nerd, but you're a person who's willing to be behind the scenes, the camera guy. You're not necessarily want to be the actress. Zadia is the actress. Cam is the guy behind the scene. Cam is the nerd. And Zadia is the hot chick in college, sorority girl, track star, glamorous, makeup, hair, fashion, outfits. And I believe that there's a part of Cam that's enamored by that, because this isn't the type of guy that Cam would normally go after, or even maybe she wouldn't even give him the time of day. Outside of this process, do we think Zadia would have given Cam the time of day? We went to Cam's house, and Cam's house was modest. It was definitely modest. I was like, oh, this looks like this is the hood. We come to find out he owned the home, but he's frugal. So he's a nerd and he's frugal. He's frugal to the point where he has this house. And I don't know how I found this out. Somebody must have told me that, so I better say allegedly, that he has roommates. So he has a house. He says, I'm going to get my bills paid by somebody else. I'm going to rent out these rooms. So he rents out rooms. So maybe he has like a duplex or a triplex. I don't know. He's got these multiple streams of income that he's doing. And he's kind of up in that house, y'all. He doesn't go out a lot. The only time he's probably going out is unless he's taking pictures. Some of y'all told me that pictures he takes are pictures of people in the clubs. That's what y'all told me. I don't know if that's true. Y'all told me that he's the guy that when you at a club and there's this guy running around taking pictures and then selling you the picture, he's that guy. I don't know. I don't know what kind of a picture taking business he has, but I'm really starting to figure out that I think he's a nerd. And I think what's going on is in this clip we're about to start really getting into, I think he puts his foot in his mouth a lot. But I want to talk about not only what he says, what he doesn't say. Because I think that is going to be the part where I can explain myself a little bit more. And also, y'all, I think they chopped up this clip. There's a couple of times where I feel like the conversation didn't join correctly, or I feel like they chopped it up. Maybe we'll hear it on the regular episode, maybe more in length. And but in this clip, I feel like they jumped it a little bit. But anyway, let's get started. And listen to the clip. And I want to see if y'all see what I see.
Literally think she's a dope person.
Okay, first of all, I'm gonna stop it right there when he called her a dope person. First of all, if you're a love interest of a guy, I know there are lots of words you can do to describe certain things about me, but dope wouldn't be the one I would want the guy to use. I know y'all young and use these terms. Cool, dope. It's not that it's not a compliment. It is a compliment. But being called dope symbolizes to me him trying to say she's a really cool chick. She's a really dope and cool chick. And I think this is getting to what I'm talking about. On the outside, for me, honestly, I wouldn't want my love interest calling me dope. I don't know. I want something else. I want something that makes it seem like you're really attracted to me, blah, blah, blah. But I already know he's attracted to her. But I think what he's honing in on is like, this girl is dope. She's really, really dope. So it is a compliment. I do want to make sure I say that part. But he does say, I think this girl is really dope. And I think what that is symbolizing is I don't think Cam has a lot of experience. And I do believe that he is impressed with this level of dopeness from Zadia. I do. But let's keep going.
I have gifts for her, everything. Like,
what gifts did you bring?
Shoot.
Go get it.
Yeah, this is something I wanted to give you before. But yeah, well, here's part of it. So
are those pictures? What is it?
this is one.
Oh my God, beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Zadia, that's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So there you go. He gave her the pictures of when, when they had that last special date and he had the photography. I think it's a really sweet gift. I think it's a really personal gift. I think it's really sweet gift. I know there's some people going to be out here in the chat because y'all was in my chat last time saying, because I really liked the date that he took her on when he did the photography with her. I thought it was a good blend of the two. I think it's a good blend of the nerd. I'm going to keep calling him a nerd behind the camera, being able to admire a beautiful woman, but yet not staring at her directly. And also a woman who likes to be in front of the camera. I thought it was the perfect combination of the two of them. So for him to then take those pictures and to frame them for her, I think is a gift that she will cherish. In fact, I know she cherished it because as soon as he pulled it out, she grabbed it right away. Did y'all see that? She grabbed it right away. But I know there's going to be some people out here that says, oh, it's a cheap gift because, he just took some pictures for free. I know, but I do believe it's sentimental. I think it's a sentimental gift. And I think that's part of what comes with a person who's a nerd who's a deep thinker. And I think that's what he did in giving this gift to Zadia. And I think Zadia appreciates it because I'm not for sure Zadia goes out with thoughtful people. I'm not for sure that she does. And so I could probably reckon that Zadia hasn't received that many thoughtful gifts. Remember, Zadia has been walking around here in the world saying she's the giver. Remember that, everyone. Zadia is the one that's saying that in her life, in her circle of friends and family, in the world in which she walks in, she's the giver. We really haven't seen Zadia give much to Cam. We really haven't. The only thing Zadia has given Cam, I guess what you would say, is time. And to be honest with you, there were times when he said you didn't even need to give him that. So I'm still going to go back to the fact that I don't think Zadia is a giver. I still think that she's a receiver. And I think that Zadia gives on occasions when she wants to receive something. Okay, I still believe that. I believe that her giving is part of a whole scheme to eventually get something. I think she's much comfortable in asking, which, is okay, except that she has to sometimes recognize and give to other people. I think she's going to need to have some more balance in that going forward. But when he gave her this gift with pictures of her, and he took the pictures, and it looks like he put it in a pretty decent frame, she was excited. You could tell. She was excited, and she grabbed it right away. She said, give me these pictures. I want these. I want to take these home with me. She received them things real fast. But let's keep going.
Zadia, is this more mixed messaging for you?
I just take it as a token, man, of what we've been through. We really built a connection. It's not fake.
And see, this is the part right here where I'm going to agree with Cam. Everyone is saying, oh, is this another mixed message? The fact that he gave her a gift. And I want to keep saying, no, it's not a mixed message, because why is it a mixed message? Here is a man who's told you that he thinks you're dope. He thinks you're a nice person. He's giving you a gift. He said over and over again, I want to get to know you. I want to get to know you more, but I want to get to know you at a slower pace that I'm also comfortable with. And then because he gives her a gift, that's a mixed message. It's almost like saying, unless we give Zadia everything she wants, then it's a mixed message. How is it a mixed message? Maybe your thinking is the one that's mixed, because he's been very clear. It's not a mixed message that I could tell you you're a dope person. I want to get to know you and give you a gift, but also say, I want to get to know you at a slower pace. That is not a mixed message. And I really hope people see this difference here, because I do think this is how people miss each other out in the dating market. We interpret things differently or wrongly. And if you're interpreting wrongly than what a person is trying to deliver, I think always the best thing to do is to keep asking clarifying questions. I think that Cam absolutely has like a nerd thing going on. He's socially awkward. He's awkward in dating. But right now he's trying to defend himself and say, no, stop painting me as a person who's out here just using Zadia, because that's not me. We absolutely developed a good friendship. We've been through a lot, and I appreciate that. Don't keep trying to discount that just because I don't want to run off and run to DC and marry Zadia. Why is that the test that unless I want to run off and marry Zadia, all of a sudden now I'm a snake and I've been disingenuous? He's trying to defend himself.
That's real. Can circumstances change people's feelings? Because you're sitting here telling me how I should have been in the past. It felt like a relief when we stopped the whole process.
Okay, there it is. There's a nerd coming out again. I know it's easy to say when he just said it felt like a relief when we stopped the whole process. That's the brutal honesty of the nerd. That's the, even me and sometimes in our engineering minds, the absolute, the 2 + 2 = 4. He's saying it felt like a relief. He's being honest because we know that he was struggling with this process. We know he was struggling with having to come film as often as he did, and then still having to keep up on this track that was expected of him from Zadia. It really isn't what he wanted. We know that. It's not the pace that he wanted. It started to feel like a job. Let's be honest. It started to feel like a job. And that may sound hurtful to Zadia, and because I could see how any woman could feel hurt by those words. But she would have to, in order to deal with a person like Cam, she would have to try to suspend some of the emotionality part of her as a female. And that's not always easy for women. Any of you guys watched Love is Blind, and we had Milton, who was the nerd, and we also had Lydia. And I think you see this in men who are nerds, STEM majors, science majors. They have a different way of speaking. And if you are not comfortable with the way that they speak, you can get your feelings hurt. You really could. You can get your feelings hurt because they don't always speak to your emotion. Sometimes they just speak to the facts. But that doesn't mean that they don't care about you. What Cam is saying is, you wanted me, you keep talking about how I should have been a different person going before, but people can change. And what he's saying is, Zadia must at some point in time told him that she wanted him to be different, have more time with her. I don't know. I know they spend a lot of time together, so I guess she wanted him to commit to coming to DC. I still really don't know all of what Zadia wanted. Maybe she wanted him to just be quiet. Because if you think about it, he kept saying he didn't have time, but he kept showing up. So did Zadia just want him to shut up and be quiet, and not say he didn't have time, but still do what he was doing, which was show up? Or did Zadia want him to say, yeah, I'm willing to move to DC for you? Either way it goes, I still believe it's too much being asked of Cam and not enough of accepting what he's saying from Zadia. And then Zadia trying to reinterpret that in her head. She still keeps wanting Cam to change himself, change his speech, change what he does, and she doesn't get to change anything. I think they both have to learn. It's the same thing I said on Love is Blind with Milton and Lydia. Once I saw them, I said they're going to make a great couple. But on their journey, they will have to come closer to the middle. In that scenario, Love is Blind, Milton's going to have to get out of some of his engineering speak sometimes, a little bit more, his science speak. And Lydia is going to have to come closer and pull in a little bit more of her logic and not always be on the emotional curve. We have that here with Cam and Zadia. For them to work out, Zadia would have to be willing to step up her level of thinking. And right now, she's a primary thinker. She's a primary thinker. She doesn't think with any sort of critical thinking. And I'm telling you, that won't work well with a logical STEM major, science major, pharmacy person like Cam. Cam is going to need a woman with a little bit deeper thinker. He does have to learn to speak from a little bit more emotional part as well to try to meet Zadia in the middle. But Zadia's got to do a little bit things different here. Even when she says, when he says it's not a game or it's not fake, it's not a game. She goes, oh, really? Zadia, you know it's not fake. You know it's not fake. So why do you play this low-level thinking game? Why do you play this low-level thinking game and you can't see the intricacies of what's going on with Kim? Why are you playing dumb? Or are you really just this low-level thinker? She got to elevate her thinking to deal with someone like him. And like I said, he also has to do a better job. but their communication styles are so different that they're missing each other. Let's keep going.
I was like, dang, I don't got to keep doing all this stuff.
We gotta pause. It felt like a relief when I left.
Okay, see, I'm going to stop it right there. There's a big sign of it. He never said it felt like a relief when you left. This goes back to what I said about Zadia. Zadia thinks everything's about her. This is a very difficult to talk to a person who twists every conversation to be specifically about them. What he just said was it felt like a relief when this process stopped. It had nothing, he did not say, it felt like a relief not to talk to you again. That's not what he said. But because she's so into herself, she never thinks about another person's point of view, another person's perspective. Anything that you say or do, she rephrases it to be about herself. Herself. That also lends itself to miscommunication. Was Cam's choice of words in that matter not the best? They were not the best, because he also has to know who he's dealing with. So he needs to learn how to choose his words more carefully so that his words actually reflect his real feelings. The word choice he used was not a good word choice. It was a horrible word choice. And then you couple that with a woman who doesn't have any deeper level of thinking. It's a no. It's a no. Because he doesn't have enough experience, he's got this nerdy part that he doesn't know how to charm a woman with his words. He doesn't. He only knows how to speak the truth. He doesn't know how to charm her with his words. That's what players know how to do. That's what men with swag know how to do. They know how to charm the lady with that slick tongue, but they don't have nothing to back it up with. You have Cam, on the other hand, where he doesn't have a slippery tongue. He doesn't know anything but the truth. And then you have a woman who's Zadia, where Zadia is so used to the slick words, she doesn't know how to deal with a man like Cam. And she reinterprets every word to be about her. And what Cam was saying was it was a relief not to be in this process anymore and be under this type of scrutiny. And she immediately said, hold up. It was a relief when I left. He didn't say that, Zadia. Where did you get that from? That's in your head. That's in your head. And you reinterpret what he said.
I would have really loved for you to have expressed this a lot sooner than now. Especially after constantly asking and inquiring on where you stood. Finding out that I'm not your person and that you just didn't want to choose me, it's hurtful.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there again because we all know Zadia's lying. So here's the thing with Zadia's lying. I told y'all before that Zadia is a liar. She likes to lie. And right now Zadia is lying, not for Cam's sake, because Cam knows the truth. Cam knows the truth. Cam knows he's been clear. Cam knows he's been clear. Who Zadia is lying for right now are all these women sitting in front of her. She's lying for this audience because remember, these ladies have not been privy to the conversations we've seen Cam have with Zadia. Remember all those conversations where Cam was really telling Zadia the truth? No one's seen those scenes except the cameraman. Okay? None of these ladies, Vernisha, Ashley, or Shareese, have seen the scenes where Cam is straight shooting on Zadia. So now Zadia is sitting here lying once again, because she's very good at it, saying, I wish you had been honest every time I asked you where we stood. He was honest all the time. Zadia is lying. Zadia now, as I've always told you guys, is what Zadia is now doing is painting herself as the victim. Now she's setting up the scene where all these ladies will believe that Cam was lying to her all along and she was a victim of his lies. And now she's sitting here as the bamboozled woman. I told you she likes to become the victim. In my last video, what I said about Zadia is like, I don't think I said it in my video. I might have said it down in the comments talking to someone, that Zadia is like the Pomeranian. When Zadia was getting into that fight with Shareese, I said Zadia is like the Pomeranian and Shareese is actually the real pit bull. The real pit bull. And I kept talking about how Zadia likes to poke. Zadia likes to climb over the fence and get into yards in which she cannot play. She's not built for it. And I'm going to tell you right now, Zadia is not built for a man like Cam, because Cam is a straight shooter. And what Zadia wants you to do is Zadia wants you to lie to her. Zadia wants to pretend like she's this tough woman and she can dish it out and she can take it, but she can't. All she can do is dish it out. Just like when she got into the ring with Shareese and Shareese bit her head off in that last episode. Zadia started off poking at Shareese. And then eventually, when Shareese said that thing about, well, I felt left out, guess who then jumped in? The other pit bull, which is Ashley, because Ashley is a pit bull too. And Ashley took over the fight for Zadia. At that point in time, Zadia could just sit back and Zadia could let Shareese and Vernisha do all the work for her. But it was Zadia who got Shareese riled up. And after Zadia got Shareese riled up, then the real pit bull, which is Ashley, jumped in and took over the fight for Zadia, right? So I'm telling you, Zadia's the Pomeranian. She nitpicks at your legs and your knees, but the real pit bulls she can't hang with because she gets crushed by them. So now we have her here with Cam. Cam has been honest with her. Cam has told her over and over again, hey, this is the way this is going to go. It's not going to go the way you want to think. But if you want to keep hanging out with me, you can. But if you can't hang, Zadia, if you can't deal with the situation that I'm laying out for you, I think you need to go back to the dating pool. He said that to her. If you can't hang with what's going on here, I think you need to start dating other people, because I'm giving you the truth. I'm telling you what it is. But what does Zadia do? Oh, no, I can hang. I'm a big dog on campus. I know how to handle this. I can go out with you and not get all wrapped up in you, get all tied up in you. I can leave you when I want you. I'm not going to get wrapped up in you. I'm cool with this, Cam. I can do this, Cam, because that's what I said about Zadia. That's what Zadia does. Zadia goes into areas in which she thinks she can hang, and she can't hang. She can't hang. She can't hang with a truth teller like Cam. Instead, what Zadia thought that she could go in and change Cam, just like when she talks about with Shareese. I keep trying to talk to Shareese. Why? Why are you trying to change Shareese? Accept Shareese as a pit bull and stay away. Go get you some other friends. Leave her over there. Leave her to her own healing. Why you got to be part of it? If Shareese want to be over in the corner, mean and nasty and whatever else, why you got to go over there? Why you got to go over there and then cry about, look, the pit bull bit me. The pit bull bit me. Now you over here in the backyard with Cam. Cam's a straight shooter telling you what it's going to be like. And you over here talking about, I can do it. I can hang. And now you done got bit by Cam, because in the end, he stuck to his word. And now what you talking about, you trying to tell the ladies here sitting in front of you, oh, I wish you had been truthful. What? He been truthful this whole season. This is a show for the other ladies. This is a show so now the other ladies will jump in, and now guess what they're going to start doing? Defending Zadia. Because this is what Zadia does. She gets in the yard, tries to play with the big dogs. When she gets bit by the big dogs, now she runs away screaming and crying, and then she wants everybody to come back and protect her. Now guess what? Just like I've already seen the scene, now you're going to start to get Shareese. You're going to start to get Zadia. You're going to start to get Vernisha. Everybody going to start jumping in, trying to save and protect Zadia. Why? Zadia jumped in the ring with this man. He was honest with her. When is anyone going to have Zadia have some accountability? When's she going to have some accountability?
Cameron, are you dating anybody these days?
No, I'm single. Super single. I'm too busy.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. That question with Tamica, another question women like to always go to when they're not getting their way. Oh, you must be cheating on me. You must be seeing someone. No. Why does it have to be that way? So many women are not used to truthful men that when they do tell the truth, they still think they lying. That's when you know it's a sad situation, that when a person tells you the truth, when a man stands and tells you the truth and has been truthful all along, we're so used to lying men, even when they're speaking the truth, we think they're lying. Cam is saying this has nothing to do with I'm dating another woman or I'm cheating on you. It has everything to do with what I told you. I like you. I want to get to know you. I think you're a dope person, but I'm not moving at the pace you are, and I'm not ready to marry you and move to DC. I want to still get to know you. Do you want me to declare you my person, that I fell in love with you? No, I have not fallen in love with you. I have not declared you my person. I'm not deciding to run off into the sunset and move to DC with you. Oh, you must have another woman. Ugh. I tell you, these egos out here, These egos.
I've changed.
What does that mean?
I grew from this situation. I know now what I need to do to foster a relationship. Like being in it with you, I was like, I want it. I want to work on it and try to make it happen.
This is the nerd in full effect. This is the nerd in full effect. This is the nerd saying, I've learned, I've grown from this. He's an old nerd. He shouldn't be a nerd. I really would want to know how many girlfriends Cam has actually had, how many relationships he's been in. Because I'm seeing a man who's saying, I've learned, I'm grown, I know what I need to do. That tells us he doesn't know what he needs to do. And that means I feel he doesn't have a lot of experience with a lot of women. I don't think that he does. And he's talking about, now I learned, I know what I need to do. He's trying to hold on. This is what the begging looks like without the beg. This is what the begging looks like in terms of wanting a second chance, because now he knows he's at the end. It's about to be over. And although he doesn't quite know what he needs to do to get it done, he does know that he likes Zadia. He does. And he said, no, I've learned, I've grown. Now I know what I need to do. Well, most women at Zadia's age, which she's darn near 40, and I agree with her, you should already know how to navigate this space already. You really should know at his age. I think he's younger than Zadia. Is he like a year or two younger? But doesn't matter. He's mid-30s. He definitely should know already. But I do believe that there's a nerdy part that's also causing a bit of interference. I don't think that these two can be together, because I think where Cam is not only professionally in his career, but where he is mentally, he's not going to be the person that Zadia is going to need in her life. The type of man that Zadia is going to need is not going to be Cam. Cam is going to be a good husband for someone else. And Zadia can go on to be a good wife for someone else. But I think that the type of dance these two would need to do intellectually with each other, to also be able to understand each other in the way that they speak, the words that they choose. I feel like Zadia isn't able to give that to him, because Zadia takes everything so personally and she's so focused on herself that she can't sometimes see his words. And I think him not having the experience, not knowing what words to choose, not really actually knowing how to express things that he's feeling in the correct way, I think it's like a misfire between the two of them. I really do. So this idea that he's changed, he's grown, he's learned from his mistakes, I want to have an opportunity to fix it. He probably does think that he can fix it, he can learn, and he probably can learn down the line, but I don't think he's going to be able to learn fast enough for Zadia.
And make it work. Maybe it'll just it'll click. And for me, when we got the distance, it just didn't click like that.
Okay, once again, another bad word. This is probably why a lot of people are confused, because people are confused that in one way it feels like he's asking for a chance with her, and then he's saying maybe it will click. And what you can see old girl actually interpreting as, which most people would interpret it as that and say, what, it'll click? Like you and I will click? No, actually what he's saying is it'll click in his head. That's what he's saying. What he's saying is it doesn't click in my head. I can't figure this out. It's not clicking. I'm not getting the concept. That's what he's saying, because he's cerebral. He's cerebral. He doesn't really speak from the heart. And Zadia, he's cerebral, and not as much emotion. And Zadia is pretty much all emotion. And he's talking in cerebral logic talk. And Zadia is speaking from this emotional part. And it's not clicking. That's the word. We're not clicking, because he's speaking one language, she's speaking another language. And what he's saying is, I want more time, because if it take more time, maybe in my mind it'll click. Maybe I'll get it. Maybe I'll figure out what I need to do. But right now I'm not getting it. I don't think it has anything to do with that he doesn't like Zadia. He knows that he doesn't want to move to DC. Like I said, I'm not wavering from that. But when he says maybe it will click, he's talking about clicking in his own head. And this is the part here where it's misfiring. It's misfiring. And I see all the ladies, and I know probably a lot of you down in the comments going to disagree with me, but this is just how I'm saying. This is my interpretation of it, because that's why there's confusion in his language. His words seem like he doesn't want to be with Zadia, but when you hear what he's actually saying, He's still asking for a chance. He's still asking for more time. But let's keep going. This is wild.
I'm supposed to be doing interviews for people right now that I need to hire to do my back office. But I'm here with you. Like, we need to wrap it up.
Again, that's that nerd talk. Okay. Maybe I ought to call this nerd translation. He said, I'm here right now with you, ready to wrap it up. I know that's horrible. He need a dating coach. That's horrible. But once again, I'm going to reinterpret it for y'all. He's not saying wrap it up, like wrap up this session, that I want to now wrap up and be done with you. Because on one hand, he's telling her, I want another chance. I want to be with you. But I missed all this stuff I should be doing. Normally, that's what I would do. I would stay with my business. But the way he's trying to show her that he cares for her, he said, I wouldn't, if the way he's trying to show her that he cares for her is saying, listen, if I didn't care for you, I wouldn't be giving up all this business. Because what he's saying is, I don't give up business for nobody. I don't give up business for anyone. It doesn't speak to her heart, but that's what he's saying is, I'm supposed to be doing interviews right now, but here I am here with you, and I gave that up to be here with you, and I'm trying to wrap this up. And she goes, wrap, and everyone started going, oh my God, wrap this up. Everybody's thinking of it as wrap this up and get out of here and leave you. But in his logical mind, what he's trying to say is, I'm trying to be here to close this deal with you. That's the wrapping up. And then get back to my business. That's what he's saying. I want to get here, wrap this up, get to an agreement, like I've told people, a settlement, so I can get back to this job and interview these people. He's handling her with way too much logic. She can't handle this. And really none of the women on the stage can handle it. Most women can. Let's be honest. The type of language that Cam is using, most women cannot handle this. Most women cannot handle it. This is why he's going to have a problem in dating. He's actually going to have to switch up his language because the majority of women cannot handle what he is saying. Okay. And he's going to have to learn to do better. Right. But it also points to the fact that he is not going to be able to deal with a woman who's completely logical all the time. Okay. He's going to need a woman who's a bit more of a balance because he's never going to be able to be perfect in his emotional speech. Right. So he's going to need her sometimes to understand his language. It's almost like a person's going to be speaking French in the house and a person's going to be speaking Spanish in the house. And the French guy's got to learn a little bit of Spanish and the Spanish lady's got to learn a little bit of French so that there are going to be these moments when they're going to have to speak each other's languages and listen to each other's languages. And then, of course, there's going to be other times where they're going to speak in their native languages. But this right here, I'm trying to wrap this up. This doesn't mean I'm trying to wrap up and break up with you so I can go. This is, I got things to do. I got places to go. Let's wrap this up. What do you need from me? What do I need to give you so you'll say yes and then I can get back to what I'm doing? Let's wrap this up. It sounds horrible though. It sounds absolutely horrible.
What? What the
Like, that's like,
Hey, so you can stop doing me a favor and head on out.
See right there where Zadia was in her emotional part and she said, you can stop doing me a favor and she can head on out. And he says, what do you mean? I'm not doing you a favor. He's confused. He's like, how did my words get interpreted like that? He has no idea how his words are getting interpreted. He's going to, Cam, boy, you need to get a dating coach. He said, what do you mean? How did you interpret that as I'm doing you a favor? Well, that is what a lot of women would think. That is what most women would think, Cam. But what he wasn't looking at as I was doing you a favor. What he was saying is this is demonstrative of how much I actually care for you that I'm willing to give this up. But the way he says it looks like, boy, you ain't doing me no favors. Boy, you talk about miscommunication. We got Vernisha over here talking about communication. This right here is a serious failure of communication. A serious failure.
Wild. Them on, y'all go through this, y'all play with people's hearts.
I said he makes up too many excuses.
Oh, then the two hurt ladies chime in. The two most hurt ladies on the whole, well, they're not the two most, But now you got Vernicia over here projecting. This is what y'all do. You play with our hearts. Girl, sit on over there with your own wounds and your own trauma and stop talking to this matter, because of course we know she want to blame it on the man, all on the man. Good Lord. That's why women, you better be careful who your friends are. Do your friends reinforce some of your own trauma thinking, or do your friends try to elevate you? Do your friends try to make you see things differently? Do your friends try to help you actually solve your problems, or are they just reinforcing some of the mindsets that you already have? I hope ain't nobody talking to Vernicia about men. This is what y'all do. Y'all play with our hearts. Vernicia, go sit down. Vernicia, go sit down. It's disappointing for a lot of reasons. One is you see that both of these people have a lot of work to do. Cam's not ready to be with no one like Zadia. Like he said, he was honest. He said, I need more time. At least he was honest. At least he's not out here saying he's ready. He needs more time. He needs more dating experience. He needs to learn how to talk to a woman a little bit more. He needs to come up with a little bit more. It's not called swag. He needs to get out of this logical engineering, out of this logical medical thinking absolute that he thinks in. And he needs to start knowing who his audience is and learning to speak the language of his audience. And women are his audience. So he can't keep speaking like this if he wants to speak to women. He's got work to do. He's got to work. And Zadia also has work to do, because Zadia doesn't do enough translation on her own. Like I said, she's too into herself, too self-focused. And even if she isn't with a person like Cam, who's so far on the other spectrum, she's going to have problems because she interprets everything through herself. And that's going to be a problem. Anyway, I thought this was real interesting, y'all. Drop down the comments. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.